Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Latanya Martin with Grand Style Homes, and we are talking here today with Eric Merriweather. We had some additional guests that were going to join us, but today we're talking about the Real Estate Wealth Building Summit that is happening on Saturday, February 27th, starting at 10:30 a.m. We are excited and just want to give you a little bit of information about what we're going to be talking about, some of the information. So we're going to be talking to, we have developers, we have investors, insurance agents, financial planners, investment strategists, property managers, as well as credit specialists. So we have a whole facet of people who are going to be here to help you. Some of the topics will be buying versus holding, land use and development, becoming a landlord, rental property management, collaboration and consulting, as well as what types of loans and financing are available. And then, of course, wealth and asset management. So, to start, I just wanted to talk about a little bit about. Again, we have Terry Gleaton, who's not on with us today, but she's going to be talking about credit. How to get your scores up, how to get your credit up, as well as business credit, building your business credit. So whether you're doing a residential loan or commercial loan is going to depend on, what you need and how to set that up and get the paperwork done and what type of loan that you're doing. So she's going to show you what to do to build that credit up to get you what you need. And then we'll have non-traditional and traditional finance options available. But today with us, we have Eric Merriweather, and he is with Northwestern Financial. Is that right?
Northwestern Mutual. Northwestern Mutual. Yeah.
So we got this property. We got these assets. We're self-employed. What do we do with the money? What do we put the money? How do we set up for retirement? What do we do once we accumulate and have these assets? How do we manage them? What do we do with them, Eric?
Yeah. So first and foremost, I just want to say salute to you because this is awesome. This is something that the community needs. For the longest time, I've been in finance for almost 20 years, right? And so we're always talking about how this needs to be more of a conversation. And so I think this is amazing. And one of my mentors, multimillionaire mentors, told me that he who arrives at quote unquote retirement that has options wins, right? So what we're talking about and what you're doing is essentially what I'm doing each and every day as it relates to financial plan. There are a lot of things that I do, and I'll get into that a little bit, but I look at a person's perspective or finance from a holistic standpoint, right? And that contains more than just investing. And real estate, as we know, is a huge way to generate and produce wealth. But first and foremost, I think you have to protect what you have, right? So we got to make sure we have the proper insurances in place. What happens if, premature passing or we're not able to work for an extended period of time? And then what I think about also, Warren Buffett once said, if you're not making money in your sleep, then you'll never be wealthy. And so essentially, that's what I help people to do largely is make money in our sleep. And so it's this financial term called FIRE. Have you heard of the FIRE movement? So that's a new term essentially for a very prehistoric thing that's been around since the beginning of, the origins of money. And it's called compound interest, right? Okay. So I don't want to mess this up. So Warren Buffett said the compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it, right? And that's simply looking at assets versus liability. So you're either making an earning interest or you're paying it to somebody, right? And so there are rules to this game. And so essentially what you want to do is get to the point to where you're reallocating your assets, because truth be told, a lot of the places that we go and spend our money on things that are quote unquote depreciating assets. I'm always talking to my clients, and it'll be a lot more of this in the session, the presentation. If you think about your money and your dollars as seeds, if you look at where you're planting those seeds, what is the harvest going to be 5, 10, 20, 30 years from now, right? And so the FIRE movement represents, and I stay away from the term retirement. I'll use it to define what I'm talking about, but I always say financial independence. I ask my clients, when do you want to get to the point where you become financially independent? And so this new quote unquote FIRE movement concept is financial independence, retire early, right? And to give a very simple example, because very few people want to get rich slowly, right? But we can all get, every single person can get rich or become wealthy slowly. And let me show you how the wealthy continue to become wealthy in a very basic example of what this FIRE movement is, right? Compound interest. If you get to the point where you have $1 million, right? $1 million in investable assets, the average stock market return on a mutual fund, a solid mutual fund this past year was like 25%, right? So if you have $1 million invested and your $1 million earns the average of this past year, 25%, that's $250,000 in 1 year.
Yeah, that's
right?
good.
And
Yeah.
so whatever your number is, right? If it's $2,000, $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month, if you look at you accumulating enough in assets and what, now it takes a while, obviously, to get to 1 million, but whatever that number is for you, when you hit that point, you can safely get somewhere between 4 to 7% interest a year. And that's on the conservative side, right? And so when you get to that point, you accumulate enough money and assets, now your investments are generating enough income to support the lifestyle. And so what I've seen is we all have gotten to the point where we're making good money, right? We're earning, we have a business that's generating, in some cases, multiple six-figure income. But what are we doing with the money? Because if we only have our money sitting in a savings account, we are safely losing money, right? Because the rate of inflation is approximately 3% interest, right? And so if you're not earning at least that, then you're safely losing money. The average savings account pays 0.09%, right? And so to kind of sum this up, what I do, there are a lot of different places that you can invest money. So just as these major businesses, corporations, wealthy, as they earn money from many of us consumers, right? They're thinking from an ownership standpoint, because earning stocks, mutual funds, et cetera, it's just another aspect of ownership. And so as we bring money to these individuals, the businesses, they're reinvesting that money to double, triple, and quadruple that, right? So we have to get in the mindset of being owners, right? Every dollar having a purpose and a place, and going out making more dollars. And as I often tell my friends and clients, you want your money going out making friends and bringing more back. You know what I'm saying?
I love that. Yeah.
To the point where you're making money in your sleep, and that's how we truly build intergenerational wealth. And so that's a little bit deeper than generational wealth. That's generating wealth for our kids' and beyond. And so diving in a lot deeper on the specific strategies and the keys, so to speak, of how we do that.
I love it. I love it. Here's the thing, everybody wants to know what to do. My thing is this: once you know what to do something. A lot of us, when we get the information, we hold on to it, or we just take notes, because I'm a note taker. But if we don't implement I always say, when you go to any seminar, summit, class, workshop, take one thing and do it. Do it. Move forward, or you'll be stuck. You'll constantly be stuck and constantly asking the same questions every year, over and over. But you have to do something, because I'm not going to be afraid to say, hey, what do I do with this money? What do I need to do with it? So, the people there to answer those questions will be at this summit. Get your questions answered, and then do something, right? Go ahead and do something. Get you a plan. Again, he doesn't want to call it retirement, but get you something to get yourself in the right position of where you need to be. And that's what we're looking forward to doing, because everyone wants to own something. So if you don't own a home, then you want to own an investment, or, hey, we got people on here who started there and they're already developing land to build. So we don't sometimes think that far ahead, or that we'll ever be in a position to do that, but we can. We just need to know how, right? So that's what this is for us to learn and know how, but also to start and to do it and implement it. So I appreciate it. I'm excited. You got me excited. I'm ready to write you a check. So yeah. let's I'm excited. So for you all who have not registered, go to wealthbuildingsummit.org, wealthbuildingsummit.org, and register. Click the registration link and register for the event that's on February 27th at 10:30 a.m. Again, another person that couldn't be with us today was our insurance professional who is going to be there to talk about insuring your properties, right? So yeah, you have these properties, but they need to be insured. Especially, even if it's if you're building, you need those materials, those raw materials covered. And if you have rentals, you need those covered as well. So we're going to touch all aspects, no matter what level that you are on. Just come join, enjoy, listen, and learn, and take some of that information and this knowledge from these big wealth builders that we have. So we have some excellent powerhouse speakers, and I'm so excited. So thanks again, Eric. I appreciate you and look forward to seeing you next week.
Likewise. All right.
Thanks, guys.